All right. Late night again. I broke the car again. It's apart. As you can see. There's one huge problem with that. I leave for Florida here in, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 days, something like that. I'm not capable of counting. That's why I have a calendar and a wife. I'm driving this car down. Not doing it right now. Let me explain what's happened. First off, at the track, I shattered a transfer case. Yeah, super fun. Track officials weren't too happy with me. I wasn't too happy with me. I still drove it home about 30 miles, making all sorts of fun noises. But wait, there's more. As we can see, there's a whole mess of trans parts, some spares, others not so much. As we continue over here, it's a mess, it's a mess, it's a mess. We are looking at my 456 clutch pack, or what's left. Well, ignore that. And that one, not part of it. Yeah, these are supposed to be flat. They're not supposed to be smoked. What happened is valve body issues. I've been fighting tuning the 456 or the 3/4 shift and the 4/5. Flaring, hitting red line, cutting boosts, all sorts of no fun at the track. Terry powered the trans because I knew something was wrong and, heading to Florida and all. I tear the valve body apart as a reman one, and what do I discover but some Gen 1 valves and a Gen 2 valve body. Yeah, that's not going to work, clearly. Spare just mock-up trans, trying to learn how to check the clutch clearances on these because can't really do it very easily. Supposed to have an H bridge, dial indicator, something like that. I kind of figured out a way just to make sure we're good to go. Valve body, I had a couple spare Gen 2s, tore everything apart, made sure the valves were correct. Spring selection, that got real interesting. Luckily, I was able to find a chart. Because here's a bunch more springs. And yeah, luckily Trans Go in their shift kit instructions also showed what size springs go where. So a bunch of measuring. I was able to figure out which springs I needed to go in the valve body. And then we get to the fact that while it's apart, and I'm playing with the cheapest, like $300 AC/DC TIG welder on eBay. I can't weld for crap, especially aluminum, but I made it happen. I'll show you. These are my stock compressor housings. They were machined out for the 21T series billet wheels. This was a rear inlet, not super terrible. I had to port the crap out of these to match the new inlet, but you see the front one here, super restrictive because there's an alternator close by. My alternator's not close by anymore. So I've had these different aftermarket compressor housings. I think they're actually supposed to be for Saab or Volvo. But they're much nicer, and I need to come up with inlets that aren't super restrictive. There's rear turbo here. Believe it or not, more room than you think in the back to deal with this. So, like I said, my aluminum welds suck, but doesn't leak, pressure tested. So this is the rear pipe, Turbo Smart, boost bypass valves, waste, or, blow off valves, whatever you want to call them. And the front one here, it's a little uglier, but this inlet is welded on. Let's try to see that wheel down in there. Try again. Nope. Maybe not. But let's get back in focus. Come on. There we go. So I got the front one sorted out. I need to find a better hose for that. But see, the original alternator was mounted up here on the front wheel drive applications. I relocated down here, so I had plenty of space for an inlet that didn't suck. The alternator, how it's mounted is real simple. I don't have a power steering pump because I converted this car to electronic power steering. So I don't even have a tensioner. Belt's nice and tight, hasn't come off in like 5,000 miles. So we'll relocating down there gave me a lot of room for the intake. So hopefully I can hit more than 18 pounds of boost. More than likely should, now that that's not super restrictive. And yep, as you can tell, I love the gold. Little shot up underneath here. That's an aftermarket proportioning valve, combo valve. Works well. Brembo's front and rear on this. And these were junkyard ones painted. They work. They're nice and cheap. Rear exhaust pipe, drive shaft, because it's all-wheel drive. A transfer case. Obviously, I have a new one that's not broken. Hopefully, I'm not going to destroy this one. Also discovered there was a brace I could use to help reinforce transfer case to the engine block. So my handy dandy crappy fly pipe there. Get a little up underneath. No leaks or nothing. I'm probably going to change the fuel filters before I head on out. Hopefully have time correct this crooked exhaust. Probably service rear differential fluid. Rear brakes look good. Big issue that I'm having also is I need to roll the fender lip. It's been slicing and dicing. It doesn't help these shocks aren't really valved right. I'm going to try to come up with some sort of solution. In the meantime, I have aftermarket bump stops I'm going to add on to help kind of limit the travel, because tires are expensive. I've already smoked a set of two of these, or two of them out of a set so far. I had to replace them. But as you can see, sidewalls are getting shaved pretty bad. Not a huge fan of that. So we're going to get those rolled real good. I got a cheap roller. Right there's the roller. Some assembly required. Same with this car. My machinist is back from vacation and the crank's done for it. Except for, I don't really have the money for that. We'll wait till after vacation. Because I really want to get the motor done for that. This car really needs retired. So let's see. I don't know how much more I got to do before it goes back in. Also warrantied out this axle. The other one, it took a heck of a beating over the past year. Surprised it lived that long. It's clicking real bad, so got that warrantied. This one was one I had modified. Cut the shaft down, had to re-weld. That's actually holding up pretty good. I'm happy with that. Now, if all goes well and I have a little bit of time, this transmission is going to get assembled. It is a Gen 1 6T75 case, but it's still usable. It's originally from a 12. This is actually a reman unit. This was out of an Enclave at Junkyard I got for 75 bucks. As you see from the other trans, some other plates got smoked. Oh, I almost forgot. The other big change, because I had 339 final drive set in this car, which was terrible for the power band. It was just shifting too much. I think I was hitting 6th gear at the end of the quarter mile. So this had to go. The other option was 316s. Now, I ran the 316s last year in front wheel drive. That's where this Acadia rear drive module comes into play. That was mocked up and actually fitted into the rear of the car, no problem. But it would have required custom axles, which didn't really have the coin for. Would have been nice because would have been able to use a much beefier transfer case. This is just an empty case, transfer case, no good. But those things, good ones at Junkyard, are 75 bucks. It's phenomenal. They're everywhere. But even the 316s, I did not like. It was still, I don't know. First gear was a borderline useless. This engine makes a it has a phenomenal wide power band. So yeah, combined with the car size tire, no good. So I wanted 277s. Originally a G6 GXP or a Malibu 3.6 would have had 277 final drive, which was all good and dandy. Problem with the 277s that came in these cars, they were 6T70 size gears, so thinner on the transfer gear, the stator. Forget what they actually call this. And of course the diff gear was quite a bit smaller. This is a 339, which would have been 6T70 as well. 316s would have been a much thicker gear. Yeah, I don't know, about another 1/4 inch thicker. But I can't run those because I don't want them. I don't like them. It's still too busy shifting. So I had a solution. I don't know how I came across it, a little bit of research. I don't know what happened, but I wanted 277s in the beefy 6T70 and probably the 6T80 size gear set. GM doesn't make them. Not for this car, not for that car, not for that car. They don't do it. But I hate to say it, Ford to the rescue. That transmission sacrificed its life. This is a 6F55 from a Ford Taurus SHO without the performance pack. What does it have? It has a nice beefy 6T75, 6T80 size 277 gear set. So I pirated parts from this. This is a good transmission. It was only a few $100s. Turns out the 456 clutch was all worn out on this thing, but luckily I was able to salvage some other parts from it to save my transmission without spending much money at all. So I'm really kind of hoping I set all the clutch clearances correct. The 2.6 was kind of making me a little nervous. We'll find out. Worst case scenario, I have a backup plan. It's this transmission. This is probably, I think, 5,000 miles on it since I redid it. I'll have to change the Gen 1 valve body out for the Gen 2 valve body and tech them. No big deal. I have those items. This transmission is meant for this car, but this is a spare plan. I'm feeling real hopeful on this transmission because I spent a lot of time going through this. Checking all the plates, checking interchangeability between Gen 1 and Gen 2. There's some nuances that I had to be careful with. So we'll see how it goes. Next step here is to get the transfer case up underneath there. It's fairly easy to do it now. And then the Y pipe, which in the car, putting the Y pipe in is not as bad as you think it is. Worst thing is you got to loosen up this bolt for this rack. I may do a reinforcement brace while I'm here real quick. Probably spend 20 minutes on that. I don't know. I think I've said one too many times trying to think of what all I got to do. And I'm kind of feeling better that I don't have that much more to do. Oh, different bump stops are going in these struts. These are Bilsteins. I was not super impressed with these, but they are lowered on H&R springs, meant for Saab. These are Saab struts. Squeaky. I got a taller one, new one, to go on these. Might as well tear it apart real quick, swap those out because I got to do a camber adjust anyway. So I'd rather do them now so I don't have to realign it, because the camber cams that I have for this, I hate them. Absolutely hate them. I don't know what you call them. I kind of forget. It's been a while. Magnet cam or something like that. But having to clock it, with this Tang tab on here, it's no fun. You could do it wrong. It's a pain in the rear to get it back out, to reset it. The only benefit is they seem to allow a million degrees worth of adjustment. I'm going to add a little bit more camber. Occasionally I'd rub in here. I'm going to roll that, roll the rear. The rear needs camber added, more negative. I think it's only at like -3 degrees. So heck, even if I just add a little bit of camber, I'd probably clear the slip. I'd rather not risk it. It's going to be a long trip. Friend's going to be going with me. We're going to have tons of fun. We're both chunky boys, so this thing's heavy as it is. So, yeah, want to make sure I'm not slicing tires. I almost forgot something. I have something for this car. Yeah, that. I'm going to remote mount it. I have this. I have some other crap. The only thing I need to really source is going to be a scavenge pump, figure out the oil system on it. This engine's LGX, that goes back under the hood of that. Once again, I'm saying one too many times. So I'd like to do that, you know, have a little bit of boost to this, a little bit of fun. Make a little bit more torque, it'll be fun. Poor transmission. They'll fit under there real nice. There's tons of room. I don't feel like getting down there right now. The engine is actually not doing a 3-liter for this. I am doing a 3.6 LFX, but with a 3-liter crank and rods. I figured out it will be 3.3 liters. It will be de-stroked nicely. It'll be a little happier in the RPMs. I might get a set of valve springs and retainers, much like I did with this. Might have to upgrade the GDI pump internals. We'll find out. I got plenty of spare, you know, China pipe here. Might as well make use of it. Need tires. So that's where I'm at with this. Kind of with everything. It's all been moving fairly slow recently. There's something stuck in my foot. Get off there. All right, great. So I'm gonna start getting this back together. I don't know what time it is. Probably spend another hour on it. I'm going to bed. I need a shower. I need a haircut. I just need palm trees. I'll get there.